Hey, SLVR Silver Dollar here, back with episode number 2 of my Risk of Rain series. So I'm just playing with a buddy Snice, and I'm on the Commando, the standard Risk of Rain class that you start out with, and he's playing on the Mercenary, which is the melee class that you unlock after you beat the game 5 times. So far it's been a pretty good combo. We're playing on Monsoon difficulty, which again is the hardest difficulty. So you'll see the countdown. We just started, 120 seconds, pretty long. We're going for the rushing on these maps, so just trying to do it as quick as possible. So luckily we found the teleporter within the first 30 seconds and just activated it. And the boss we got is the Magma Worm, which is pretty fun, but can also be, pretty tough to play against. You'll see here I'm getting completely wrecked. Dropping under 100 HP. I mean, I don't have a ton of HP to start with, but, 35 HP. It's pretty sketchy. It's those large guys are called parents, and then the little guys underneath them are called children. Kind of weird names for the enemies. But you'll see some of them shoot these red homing missiles, so that makes it really tricky, because even if you're trying to just hide on the little rope there, you can still get hit by it. And we have some jellyfish there coming in too. Luckily, I have this stop time ability, which is pretty handy. So I just stop time, lets us get up there, destroy everything, and then go back to it. So in this phase, until we hit 120 seconds, you keep getting enemies spawning. So this is usually where I end up dying. If you die in a level, it's this sort of phase where you maybe killed the boss, but then you're just trying to stay alive. There's nowhere to run to. If you go on the ropes, the jellyfish get you. And if you drop down, you might get mobbed by enemies. So basically right now we're just trying to sort of do, crowd control and clean up as many enemies as we can and just kill the clock. So there we go. Whew, kill the clock. All we got to do now is just kill off the remaining, 28, 29 enemies. Sometimes they go up depending on what enemies you're fighting. Sometimes the enemies can split. Also, that number can be inaccurate if you're not hosting, I guess. So it's a bit odd sometimes. If you're not host, you might see something a little bit different than what the other person is seeing on the clock. So I don't know if they've ironed out all those bugs. But yeah, we were pretty happy to get on this level. This is the Sky Meadow. Very beautiful, beautiful name for it. But it is way better than the other option as a second level. The other option is the damp caverns, which are just terrible. They're really tough to play. They're not really tough. It is just the second level, but they're definitely harder than this because they have this mushroom enemy. And when the mushroom enemy, I think, either dies or even just when you shoot it, it releases this poisonous gas around it. So, it's easy to get kind of mobbed by a bunch of enemies, and you really got to be doing kind of range shots in that level, which can be tough to do sometimes if you're on a small platform or something. That's actually a good use item there. I don't know what the proper name for it is. It's some sort of fruit. And if you use it, it gives you a ton of health. So between that item and the clock that I have, I'd say those two are probably the best two use items. And I was trying to give that to Snice, but unfortunately the use items actually disappear after a certain amount of time. None of the other items do, but those ones do. So yeah, we're just trying to clean up the enemies. Still a little bit slow going, but I think we're aiming, to try and finish this level in about 5 minutes. So, not really ramping up the difficulty too much, but still, having enough time to probably pick up an item or two. So the items I have so far, Concussion Grenades, those are pretty good. They do like a stun, I think it's 6% chance for stunning. The stuns can be really handy because it helps you, get away from enemies. The attack missile launchers, those are also great for sort of a ranged character. The Paul's Goot, I'm sorry, Paul's Goat Hoof, not Goot Hoof. Paul's Goat Hoof makes you run 20% faster. The plasma gun thing does this tethering laser, which does a percentage of damage. I'm not sure what it's based off of though. And then the little health kit there does, I think every time you get hit, you get 10 health. So basically just a damage reduction type thing, which is handy. So yeah, this even just doing the cleanup though can take a bit of time. So that's what makes Monsoon, definitely a bit more difficult, where you have that extra, the extra 40 seconds, extra 30 seconds can really, cause some delays, makes a lot more enemies spawn, and then difficulty keeps going. So yeah, we've just bumped up to hard difficulty. And hopefully, it won't make a difference for this level, but yeah, once we get to the next one, we'll probably notice it a little bit for sure. And this is one of those tough levels though where there's not really a ton of items, unfortunately. So I think we only picked up, one or two items each on this one. So pretty scarce. There's a couple chests up here, which is good. So yeah, at least we'll get something out of this level. Rusty jetpack. Oh, sweet. I prefer the photon jetpack, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. The photon one actually lets you fly. The rusty one just plays around with the gravity a little bit. Alright, so we're gonna head over to the teleporter now, because no enemies remaining, and then off to the third level. Sunken Tomb, sweet. SLVR.